There's another trade that I've taught that's called the broken wing butterfly. As far as I know, I don't know many other trade services that teach these. The broken wing is super interesting. So here's how it looks. Instead of 110, I'm going to break the wing and drop it. And for this example, I'll just drop it $1 and see what happens. Now, does everybody recognize that if price is at 98, the $100 calls are whatever they cost, right? The 105s are less because they're out of the money. The 110s are even less because they're further out of the money. If this cost me 70 cents and I price this, is this going to be more expensive or less expensive? Is the 109 call going to be more expensive than the 110? It's right? Big G, isn't the 109 going to be more expensive? It's closer to the money, right? It's going to be a little more expensive. Yeah. It's going to cost maybe 20 cents more, just as, for an example. So this trade's actually going to cost 90 cents because the 109 is a little bit more expensive. But watch the math now. We have the same scenario here. Okay, if you can't get up into this range, you ain't making no money. The max profit is the same, $5. You can still make your $5. But what happens if you go to 112? We already did the math here, right? You make $12 on the $100 call. You make $2 on the 110 call. That's 14. And then the 105s in this scenario, you lose 7 times 2 equals minus 14. 0, you lose the $70, right? We did that. Look at the math here. This is freaking brilliant. Not that I invented it. It's just so cool. The $100 call makes $12, just like we said. But the 109 call makes what? $3. $1 more. That's 15 minus 14. It actually nets $1 or $100. Cost you 90. You just made $10 in profit having the butterfly explode past your strikes. What this means is you pay a little bit more money and you end up having zero risk to the upside. You've now eliminated 50% of the risk by breaking the wing. Did I lose you or I got you? Pretty cool, isn't it? Now, sometimes breaking the wing is too damn expensive. Sometimes you'll go to the 109s and it's like it's $1.20. So you break the wing by $1, it's really not enough. You might have to break it to 108. And now you're going to make the difference, right? So now you'd make $2. But the cost of the trade is maybe it's 180. But now you can make $2. So you have to figure out, and I'm going to show you in the platform how that works. So that's the broken wing. Okay? Very cool. Last scenario is, almost, is the unbalanced. The unbalanced fly, which is what I'm going to get into with this strategy. This crazy little creature, if you look at the regular fly, is a debit spread, right? Debit spread. Credit spread, those of you that are in Convert the Vert know what this is, right? You share the same strikes like this, right? So you got one here and one here, and you got one here and 1 here, and that gives you the +1 -2 +1. A debit spread and a credit spread combined where they share the same strike. An unbalanced fly is a debit spread, +1 -1, and 2 credit spreads, 2 of them, -2 +2. It's 2 credit spreads. And so what are you left with? +1 -3 +2, right? Do the math. See that? And because you're now doing 3, you're selling 3 in the middle. Generally, if you do this correctly, instead when you go to buy an unbalanced fly, which is what we're doing here, you actually get a credit for it. Because the money that we get for the 3 strikes in the middle more than pay for these 3 calls. So you can get it for a credit. And yes, you still have the $500 or the if you did it like this. You still have the $500 lotto ticket max profit potential. But instead of spending $70 for it, you might actually get a $12 credit for it. Pretty cool. Now you do have risk. So because you have the extra credit spread, your risk is going to be $500 on top. If you go above here, you got a $500 risk. Minus the credit that you got. In this case, your risk would be $488. So there's a lot of risk in doing that. So they're going to give you a credit. They're going to give you the ability to make $500. But if you go above the upper strike, you have a $500 risk. See? So that's how the unbalanced fly works. You can do a put one. You can do a call one. And the cool thing about using this strategy is if price is at, say, $98, and I do the 100, 105, 110, and I'm doing the 132, right? What I would say here as a potential strategy, let's say I could do this, and I'm doing it 5 wide, so I can get maybe I can get like a $40 credit for this, just as an example, okay? If price, hold on, Stone. If price stays below 100, don't I get to keep the $40? So I could put this on just if I thought maybe price is going to go up a little, but I'm pretty sure price is going to either stay where it is or go lower. And if it stays where it is or goes lower, and I throw this up there high enough, in fact, maybe that's a little too close. So maybe what I do is I put it up here, see if I can get $40 credit for it. If price goes all the way up to 100, 101, 2, 304, I'm fine, right? Nothing happens to me. As long as it stays below 105, right? I'm going to keep my $40. However, here's the kicker for the 132. I'm going to be able to keep the credit. In other words, if you had a normal butterfly like this was just a regular fly, the normal 1, 2, 1 fly. If price, this one would say cost you, say, $70. Yeah. As price goes higher, obviously you make nothing here. If price comes up into here, yes, you can make the money. Same here, except you got a credit. Instead of spending $70, you got $40. And you still have the kicker that you can still make more money. What if this thing landed at like 109 and you made $400 plus the 40? So now you made $440. You get to keep the credit plus sell it for an additional credit. So a lot of people will put on a call unbalanced fly if they think price is going to go down like this. Because if the price goes down like this, you make 100% profit. You got $40, you get to keep $40. But if it reverses and goes the other way, you actually make money in this direction too. At least you do up to here. Unlike this fly, you make no money here. You understand? You lose $70 if you don't get above it. With the unbalanced fly, you brought in a credit. So this scenario, lose. This scenario, win. This scenario, you could make up to 500. This scenario, you could also make up to 500. Yeah, of course you'd have to close it, right? It's not a cash settle. It depends. If you do it in SPX, no, you don't. But if it's in anything other than a cash index, yes, you have to close it. So then the last scenario is the unbalanced fly that we just showed you, 1, 3, 2, that breaks the wing. 1, 3, 2. But guess what? You ain't going to get $40 credit. In fact, when you break this wing, it might end up costing you 10 cents. So you're not going to get the credit. However, you have no risk to the upside. Yeah, well, you'll close the unbalanced fly. You want to close it for the highest credit you can. So if you can close it, if you got it for a credit, and the next day price moves somewhere near the net, and you can close it for a credit, then you do so. But what you're going to see is that if price doesn't move a whole lot, you can just let it expire and you get to keep the credit, which I'm going to show you in a second. Oh, you can absolutely do this in SPX. Yes. So everybody understand the broken wing? We did that before, right? But when you break the wing, remember how the $70 one went up to like 120 or something because we broke the wing? Well, if you got a $40 credit on the unbalanced fly, when you break the wing, it's going to get rid of most of that credit. Maybe it'll only cost you 5 cents, but you're no longer getting a credit. But you also have no risk to the upside with the broken wing scenario. All right.
Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video from Trade With Me Now. Make sure to go ahead and like this video and subscribe to our channel so you make sure that you catch our next video right when it's released. Also, if you have a question or comment, please leave that in the comments section below. And of course, if you want to learn more about Trade With Me Now or join our community of profitable traders, go to tradewithmenow.com. There's also a link in the description below.